and welcome back to Monetize Your Mind. This is Pat Dewar. We've got Bob Baer, Michelle Prince in the house, a former Zig Ziglar speaker, and she's helping people get their books kind of out of their heart and onto the world, into the world. Bob?
Michelle, you were telling us about how you first started writing your first book, telling your story, which is a great story. What happened that made a switch to you helping other people write their books?
Well, once I launched my book and we put it out there, it actually got a lot of success, and it hit bestseller in a couple categories, and it launched some exposure for me that I was not seeking, but it just kind of happened that way. And everywhere I would go, even though I was speaking on personal development and belief, people would, the number one question, or I'd get two questions. Number one, what was it like working for Zig Ziglar? And number two, how do you write a book? I want to write a book. And so I found myself just starting to tell people, you know, one-on-one, well, here's what you do, here's what I did, and then more people would ask, and then I'd have phone calls, and you know, I'd grab a few of my friends and people who would ask me, get on a call, and I'd walk them through the process. And before I knew it, I had a seminar of we started with 12 people, because I said, you know what, all of this time on the phone is taking a bit of much, so let's all come together and I'll tell you everything I know. And that's what created Bookbound. That's what started it. And I'm so passionate about it because it's not just about a book, although you and I know how important a book is. It's about the message and to see the belief and the shift in people when they know they do have a story. And it's just this chain reaction, and I love it.
And that's one of the things that's really important, isn't it? In telling people why they need to express themselves, why they need to get their book out, is because it changes them as well as being a good read.
Well, and most people don't think they have a story. Or they think, you know, who cares what I have to say? You know, or what if nobody reads it? But the truth is, we relate best to other people. And so if you've been through something, anything, good or bad, and you know somebody's been through it before you get inspired when you see what they've done. So whether you've been through even divorce or bankruptcy, things that aren't so positive, you know, by telling your story, somebody else is still going through it. And you might just give them that sense of, wow, you know what, she's just like me, or he's just like me. And that's what a book can do. And it's more about the message, but the beauty of a book is it can reach more people. You and I can talk one-on-one, we can talk to a room of people, but if we can get that same message out to thousands of people by giving them the book, it's that much more powerful.
To me, I love books, and I find books and getting a great positive message out are very important. But two of the important things that you do, one is that when someone has a really important message, when you have a passion in your heart that you want to share with people, and you're not great at writing it, not great at getting that communication out, people need help. They need someone who can help them, teach them how to express themselves and turn their passion and the things that they're excited about into something that'll communicate. That's
absolutely right, because we all know we have passions, but sometimes it's really hard to articulate, well, what passion can I help people with? You know, I like to travel, or I like to sing, or I like to paint. You know, how is that going to help somebody? But when you combine your passion with your experiences, and experience doesn't have to be work-related. Like I mentioned, it could be you had experience going through divorce, or you have experience in sales, or, you know, but when you combine your passion and your experience, that is a story that people want to hear because you can help them. It's also a story you're going to want to write because you'll have the motivation to complete it and you'll have the details to provide a lot of value.
The whole publishing industry is changing so fast, so rapidly, that things are different every 6 months. And people that wrote a book 6 months ago, there's different strategies for getting their word out. And to me, it's a real shame when someone writes a book that has a great message and they don't know the best way to get it out there.
Oh my goodness,
you help with that too, don't you?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's heartbreaking to me when I meet people and they say they have 1,000 books sitting in their garage and they don't know what to do with it, or they've written a manuscript that they've never done anything with. So there are ways that you can get it out there, but you're right, it changes so rapidly that if you're not close to someone or people like us who know the industry and how it's evolving, it's really difficult to stay abreast of everything. And you know, it's a fun industry, though, I have to say, and see a lot of great things.
You have a weekend that you teach people. It's called Bookbound.
Yes.
It's your program, and we'll be talking about it more a little bit later. But Is that 2 days or 3 days?
It's a 2-day workshop. We do 2 full days, and it's designed to begin with the process of what is my story, and really going through that process of figuring out, what could I tell people? What would help people? What do I want to share about my story? And then we outline that. We also go through the process of publishing and what those different options are. And then most importantly, though, we go through the marketing. Because like we said, unless you have a way to get that book in the hands of other people, you can't really help that many. So it's important to focus on the marketing part as well.
Okay, well, we will talk about that more in a minute.
Well, one of the things that I do want to encourage people to understand is the value of the two of you. I mean, you guys are a real dynamic duo. You've got the publisher that can make it happen in 25,000 different distribution points, but someone that can actually bring the book out and roll that 9-pound pearl from their heart onto the table and then inject that into the DNA of mankind makes all the difference. I know if you have a chance to go to the bookbound.morepower.com and see what they're bringing to the table. Michelle is going to be extracting from many of you, hopefully, is the book, the passion that you so desire, that you want to get that out. This is Monetize Your Mind. We'll be right back.
You can become a published author. Discover a system that will lead you from idea to having your book on the bookshelves. Bob Baer pulls back the curtain at the More Power to Publish workshop. Watch and learn how to follow the step-by-step plan to turn your idea into a published book. Learn more at morepowertopublish.com.